Hey, what's up? Space Jelly Reviews here. Today I'm going to be reviewing the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse DC Rebirth Martian Manhunter. So, I found this figure on super clearance. He was dumb cheap. He was like $6, I think. And the original pricing is 20. So, yeah, I got this one pretty cheap. That's how we're getting most of our figures now. We gotta find them on clearance, but this was a pretty good one to get on clearance. So, I actually like them too. But there's some stuff to talk about, a few problems. Scaling, he stands at just under 7.5 inches. I think he should be taller, but it's alright. Which makes him about 18.5 centimeters. I'll do some comparisons. This is him next to the DC Multiverse, DC Rebirth Batman. So technically, same line or same thing. He looks like he scales pretty good, but he's really like wide. He's really wide. So if you like that, I don't know. This is a random new 52 Wonder Woman. I think the scaling is pretty good. She doesn't stand too tall, but she's a bit taller than a normal person. This is my Kit Bash Superman. I used the DC Rebirth Superman's legs, so this should kind of count. That's a pretty good scaling to me. And always, the DC Multiverse Azrael Batman from Nightfall. I think that's pretty good. Maybe he's a little bit short, but sorry, he's okay. We'll talk about the aesthetics. The lighting isn't good right now. Okay, there you go. He has a pretty nice paint job on his face. The eyes, you can probably see, are red with some shading. He has a lipstick on, but I think that's just meant to be like shading. The head sculpt is decent, but I think it's a little bit big for him. His body is so wide, but his head is too wide for that. If his head was just skinnier, I think it'd be better, because that's how I picture him as looking, with a slimmer head, not really a human being shaped head with just a point in the back. But you know, he has these painted buttons on his thing. Its connection to the cape. They're like textured a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see. His outfit has red outlining. Pretty good. There's a few spots where it's a little bit splotchy, but it's pretty good. No real shading on the skin though, but I really do like his skin tone. It looks really good for just being mostly, I'm pretty sure it is just entirely plastic. He does have texturing on it. A very good job by McFarlane on this figure. Very nice sculpting work and very nice muscle definition on this figure too. Much better than that, what's it called? Much better than that Batman I reviewed recently. I don't know why I'm forgetting the name. It's a Hush Batman, there you go. This is how his costume should have looked. Where like it adheres more to the skin. Though this is just his skin. Obviously you can add costume details to that later. Purple cape, it's a little bit weird and lopsided. If they just cut that out, I think it'd be good. The legs, or I'll start off with this piece. Same red outlining, rivets, buttons painted. Continued on the back, which is good. Sometimes he doesn't do that. The legs are textured like the skin though. I know that people have probably pointed out before. Probably because he was used to make the original or classic looking Martian Manhunter too. But it doesn't really detract too much from it. The boots have texturing, red outlines, red soles. Continued on the back. So yeah, I think this figure actually does look pretty good, and he has a decent amount of paint on him for a DC Multiverse figure, so that's good. And the sculpting is really good too. You can see how heroic he is and how nicely sculpted the abs, the serrators, the arms are. Very nicely done by McFarlane. Just the head is a little bit too wide, but it depends on what you like, I guess. But yeah, this is what I would want to see more from him. More super heroic proportions, as you can see. We'll talk about the... Actually, I have to rate him. The aesthetics, I'd give this guy a 9 out of 10. He's pretty good. There's not really many problems, aside from the wide head and a few paint mishaps, but I think he's pretty good. And accessories, unfortunately, comes with nothing. He just came with the standard, if I could get it. Yeah, okay, here it is. The standard card and display stand, which I'm not going to take out because they're stupid. He could have easily came with another fist. I don't know why they gave him a gripping hand. There's no reason for that. It's silly. 0 out of 10. Now the articulation. Let's go over it. He has a double ball peg on his head. He looks up very nicely. Pretty nicely. I mean, not super good. His head looks down. That's good. He does fly. He has pretty good head pivoting, or head tilting. It's pretty good. Double ball pegs are always good for these figures. He has another one of those rotator joints in his shoulder blades. He can go back, he can go forward a bit, up, down. Pretty good range for this guy. Ooh, shoulder goes up. These are soft. This piece is a soft piece. Full rotation, kind of. Bicep swivel. Double jointed elbow. It's a little bit ugly. That's what you come to expect with these figures. See, the forearms are very nicely detailed. His wrists are also sculpted, I think. Yeah, they're sculpted. Hinge in, hinge out. Lots of range. Ball hinges. Average ball hinge articulation. He has a diaphragm cut, but does not go forward more than that. That's it. He can kind of go forward a little bit more with the bottom joint, but that's it. Arcing back is good though, so he'll be good for flight poses. Yeah, that's good. Tilt side to side, not a ton, but that's pretty decent. Rotation at the diaphragm. There's a little bit of a paint splash over here. Waist rotates pretty nicely as well. That's pretty good. Okay, legs. They don't get full splits. The diaper's getting in the way. But it's not too bad looking. It looks pretty decent. Yeah, it's not too bad looking. No thigh swivel at all. He can kick forward pretty high. Kicks out a little bit low. Doesn't really kick back. Knees. Yeah, his knees are super ugly. I don't know why he keeps doing this thing with the point at the knee. I don't know if you can see that. Let me get a light on there. Yeah, I don't know why he does that. You don't need to do that. And it doesn't add anything to the figure. Just makes it look ugly when you bend the knee. Ankle goes up, goes down on sculpted ball hinges. Ankle pivot, ankle rocker. Toe joint. So he does have pretty good articulation. The only thing that's really not good is the diaphragm joint. The legs are okay, but they're not bad. So the articulation is pretty good. I'll give him a 7 on articulation. But I don't know. It's unfortunate that he has to have. Sorry. Unfortunate that he has to have no accessories at all. It's really silly for a toy that looks this good too. It's a really big detractor, but he's still pretty good. And for $6 that I was able to get him for, this is more than worth it. So if you're able to get this for like $6, maybe even 10, because $10 would be a pretty good price too, I definitely get it. It's a pretty good toy. If you can find the other one, I think the other one is slightly better, but that's only because I like the costume better on the classic Martian Manhunter. We'll see if we can find that one, and I'll definitely be reviewing that one too if I find it. So yeah, overall, I'll give this figure like a 8.5 out of 10, because though he is really good, he does have a few problems with the paint and with the joints being ugly and the torso not really working good at all, and no accessories. But still, I'd still give him a 8.5 out of 10 because the general sculpt is really nice, and McFarlane should do this more often. So yeah, anyways, thanks for watching, liking, subscribing. I told you about my Patreon. We're still setting it up, but we just started the a tipping thing. So if you wanted to, you can give money if you want. I'm emphasizing if you want. It'll help us greatly. Our fate with buying more toys, it's kind of hard for us right now because toys are getting so expensive. It'll help us buy more figures. It'll help us get more equipment so you can get better lighting than just the normal ring lights, and better camera equipment, because that'll make the figures look better and it'll make the focusing better. So we really do want to give you guys some quality content. So we're going to work on it. If you guys want to donate, you absolutely can, and we'll appreciate it greatly. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.